I'm here to do an update from here inside the snow globe experiment. I'm gonna do a little update on what life is like, and it still sucks. It started melting last night, so it's just like we're going into the big melt. We could call it, you know, the big melt. Like hopefully there won't be more disasters coming our way, but who knows? But it started melting, so, you know, it's just tons of snow. Gonna lead us right into the floods. But the trashmen still haven't come. The trash is all still out there. It is just snow everywhere and water, and I think it's just turning into mush. I don't know. Last night, right after I had said that about the werewolves being out there, because, I mean, this is, it is 10 o'clock and it's still dark. Like, I'm not kidding when I say it never gets light here. I could sit here all day long holding a thing up where the sun should be. You wouldn't see it. There would be nothing. Just the same white, gray sky. They either have the cloud system move in, where they just put all these weird layers of all these clouds. Ooh, or sometimes the days when they put the pink clouds out. But, you know, I mean, when you know what's up, you know, it's just poison. So it's pretty, but stay in the home. And then sometimes they let the illumination disc out, make an appearance just randomly. Then they'll put cloud systems up so they can move it to the next place. And then, oh, there it is over there. How to get there? Oh, you know, it's the storms. It's the storms. It's the climate change. Oh, that's what's happening here. It's the climate change. So who knows what they've got in store for us next. I don't know. It just is still, it's just so eerie. It's just always so dark and eerie. And yeah, I kind of feel like I'm picking up on all of these people's energy around me or something. But, you know, a little update on the energy update here is, so last night I was watching something and it must have ended. And so I went on to YouTube, and right then it said that David was live with Juan. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. So I must just caught that right at the right time. So go with the signs. And so I started watching it, and Juan had just called. David was talking to some other lady who has a show in Florida. I don't know what they were talking about. I wasn't watching or anything. And then Juan just happened to call during the thing. So he called into the show, and he was just calling to give David an update on something. Since I didn't see the first few minutes, I don't know what all happened in the very beginning. But when I saw it, he was talking, you know, if you watch Juan like Juan does, you know, he goes off on his stories and stuff. But, so he was saying, basically, you know, this is all for the awakening. This is, every single thing happening is for the awakening. That we are deep in a war that some people don't even know is existing at this point. So he was saying the same thing. Something big is going to happen. He said, I've been saying it the whole time since I started speaking out. Something really big is going to happen, like a Cuban Missile Crisis or something. He said, and that's what's going to get everybody to pay attention. And I have been saying that the whole time. I mean, everything that is happening is for our souls to wake up. Everything. So, and that's why I keep saying, I mean, some of these souls have a lot to take on here pretty soon, because they have, you know, really let the beast free with the bullying. And, you know, they're going to kind of be like, oh, you know, I didn't know they were lying to me. You know, we got to forgive. I mean, we can't sit here and we want to move on from this. We don't want to be stuck in this energy that they've created. You know, we're moving into the age of Aquarius. And I think that we're the holdup on the transition is as long as we take, because we can get there as soon as we want to get there. And if we want to sit here and fight with people and, well, you said this and I was right and I told you all along, you know, what's that going to do? Just keep us arguing, making people feel like shit that are already going to feel like shit? I mean, they're taking on a lot. Their souls are taking on a lot to face some really dark shit. It's going to be hard, and a lot of them are going to have a really hard time facing it. And I really do believe that those of us who are awake, it is so that we can, you know, even if it's just energetically, but also if it is putting your arm around somebody, holding their hand, you know, giving them a shoulder. And, you know, we don't have to judge. We don't have to give our opinion. We don't have to make them feel guilty or anything like that. We just let them kind of purge out and, you know, say it out loud, what they need to say, so that they can recognize themselves. You know, don't start kicking them while they're down, because these people are going to feel down. Just think about how you feel when you've done something that was really stupid, and then you realized it at the same time everybody else did. It's a humiliating experience, and a lot of people are going to be going through that. And so we really need to live by our own truth, you know, like what kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be somebody who's vindictive? Do you want to be somebody who has to have everybody, oh, you were right, you were so right, you know, because that is just going to perpetuate this chaos. You know, we want to just let it go and become the people that we want everyone else to be. You know, we want people to not judge us. We want people to accept us. We want people to, you know, be there to just listen sometimes, not fix our stuff for us. You know, I mean, and we all want to fix everybody else's stuff. And, you know, it's a big thing to just let go of it and be like, hey, this is your journey. You know, there's nothing that we can do, you know, for each other. And that has been a big lesson for me as a mom and what I have experienced over these last 2 years. So, you know, I think it is important in all of our relationships. It's showing us about us and everything that is happening. You're getting to see you, as long as you are being clear with yourself. If you're not being clear with yourself and you're in denial and you're trying to hide from yourself, then you're going to think it's everybody else. Everybody else is making you feel bad. But as soon as you start, you know, getting ready to really take yourself on, you'll see that it's your attitude, it's your opinions, it's your judgment, it's all of those things that are your trouble. It's not somebody else. It's inside you. The beast is inside you. It's like Alien. So anyways, he was still saying the same thing as what I've been saying about that. Oh, look, at cars going by. I mean, four-wheel drive truck, of course. And there is no delivery. We had that one day that we got some deliveries. There's still no delivering. I mean, I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating when I say it feels like you're just completely cut off, especially because I'm not even on next door, you know. I even feel more isolated. I don't have friends out here where, you know, don't have, I mean, you have like neighbors and acquaintances. It's not like friends or people who get you or see eye to eye. Like the other day, one neighbor sent me some memes or something in an email, but, you know, it was making fun of Joe and the Trump star, and I was just like, you know, you're just not seeing things clearly yet. And so back to Juan, so he said, you know, the same thing basically that Cliff was saying. It was like the same scenario of, you know, shit going down. The one guy having to expose that he has no say, because you have to be the commander-in-chief. So he has no say over what is going to happen. And he has, oh, and by the way, too, this was a good thing, too, that I thought was really interesting. Because, you know, for those of us who know what happened with the vote thingy and that thing with the, all that stuff that you can't talk about, that when all of that was happening, and that there was certain people, and we were saying, you know, this isn't right. The other guy won. This guy didn't win. Well, he was saying that no matter what we want to say, is that Congress is the one who gets to decide who is. They get to call and say who is. So they've called it and they've said that guy is. Well, we know that it's like all this little like China team we got going there, you know. So it's all them, you know, Congress, and it's put their person in. They're sold out. They sold out America to, you know, the highest bidder. And anyways, so he really is, which is just gets so crazy because it's not even really him. It's like a guy in him. And they didn't never put their, if you go back and watch the footage, they had something between the Bible and their hand, like that matters. Like, I've been to court. I've watched people put their hand on a Bible and lie through their fucking teeth. So, people don't go shit. Because it's not in their heart. You have to have it in your heart. You have to, like, I can't lie because it's in my heart. I know that there's, you know, I know there's a higher purpose. I know there's a higher calling. I know but you're answering to yourself, you know, what kind of person you really are. And we're all getting to show who we really are during these times. So anyways, I thought that was really interesting, but it definitely shows that that is going to be part of what is exposed to us, how, you know, corrupt the government really is. They aren't going by what is we want. They aren't going by what is legal. They aren't going by any of this stuff. They're just working as their own beast on our dime. Well, we're enslaved. Oh my God, it's such a weird rigged thing. So anyways, he was saying, yeah, there's going to be something big, and then it's going to expose who really is in power. And then that person, you know, there's going to be some moving around. And it makes sense because there has to be something big. There has to be something significant. And, you know, luckily the one guy wants us to have our freedom. Oh, one thing that I did not like that he said, because I found it kind of confusing, because he was saying we're already in the Jubilee. And he was saying we've been in the Jubilee for like a year or two or something. And then he started explaining the Jubilee as like an energetic relief from work or something. Like, so many people have been off work. And so I was like, this isn't the Jubilee that I understand. And not only that, I mean, we have the whole Nasara that they're trying to get in, that JFK had already tried, and that was the end of the hymn. So, you know, that is going in, and the whole thing, it all works in together because the banking system and the government, you know, their financial fake fiat, counterfeit system has failed them, and it's, you know, it's collapsing. So that will put us into the real Jubilee, the end of financial debt until we create it again, you know, but we're getting an opportunity to start fresh. And hopefully, you know, that we have enough people who have felt enough pain from the situation that we do keep this trajectory alive for many generations to come. You know, that is, you know, it's kind of on us, you know, it's how we roll with it. So he said that he asked about what Cliff has said about it. And he said, I hope that it's going to be in January, but he doesn't know any dates. He said only thing that he really knows is like, this is like biblical stories replaying, that this is all for the awakening. This is much bigger than what anybody can imagine, that this war is much bigger than what anybody can imagine. And that's all stuff that I, you know, already know. So I just feel so sure, you know, that we're getting close. And oh, that was another thing they talked about, the percentage thing with the people. And he was saying that, you know, it has to be 81%. And it has to do with like energetic shift and a bunch of stuff. Like, I know that some of these people know what's up. And so when they start talking about like the Bible and stuff, I'm just like, are you reducing your language to talk to people on their level? Is it because it's time for us to bring them up to the truth of consciousness and energy and what's going on here? And this is a big, oh, and he did mention that we're a science experiment. I was like, hell yeah, as I've been saying this whole time. I mean, I was told when I was a little kid. I mean, I had the little cheater kind of thing going. I mean, they were telling me, they were showing me from the time I was a little kid. So it was easy for me to see, especially, you know, they made sure I had a medical background and understood. And so there's certain things that I knew. And But yeah, he did mention that we're a science experiment, and that's going to be revealed. But there's going to be so much stuff revealed, and this is going to be kind of like a long process. The whole thing is once we get more in the openness over what is going on, and not these people who are in denial, who are really attached to their ego and bullying people into submission. So once that gets released, you know, it's going to be very humbling for a lot of these people, but that's going to really give us room to start moving in another direction, you know, because we're not fighting this, you know, that is like Red Rover, and get more people on our side. So, you know, there is, you know, we just keep moving, even though it feels like it's just so slow and it's so tedious. And, you know, some of us are in areas that we're just being fully attacked. And it really sucks when you're totally awake and it's like, this is doing, you know, it feels like this is doing nothing for me. But, you know, obviously it's the experience I'm supposed to be going through, and it is doing something for me. I don't really know everything yet, because you have to, hindsight is always when you can see things more clearly. You know, a lot of things don't make sense until you can look back and go like, oh, that's why, that's what I learned. That, oh, especially when something comes up in your life and you're like, oh, I learned about that so that this could happen. So you go through things so other things can happen, because it is the dominoes, and we can't just go midway through and, you know, let's just start them over here and over here and over here, because then we have chaos. It has to, it's a systemic, and it's not systemic, systematic. It's just funny that word, because there's like a systemic problem in our world, but a systematic way that the dominoes have to go, and it involves time, and it involves how we're all linked together, and how each experience is touching another to create a picture. So, you know, that's what is going on, and there's nothing, I mean, we can sit here and pout and whine, and I'm sure I've done plenty of my fair share, angry and all of this stuff, because we got to release these emotions, we got to feel it, we got to process it and go through it. And, you know, to get through all of these different things, you know, and wanting to speed it up, just like I said yesterday, you know, if it was at all possible for us to have manifested this to already go down, we would have manifested it. There's enough of us that want it bad enough and are focused on it. And, but things have to go in the process, and it has to do with so much that we don't understand. So anyways, it's still going, even though it seems slow, and we're still headed towards where we want to be, releasing this enslavement program that we've been, you know, dedicating our existence to. And, oh, this is another thing I thought, this was hilarious. This was totally, where you can see, like, this awakening truly is happening. So, this morning, a little while ago, on my phone, another thing popped up. It said a YouTube notification, and so I clicked on it, and I thought, oh, maybe somebody's talking, I'll go in and talk. But it was, somebody was going live, and it was this tarot guy that I like, and it was weird how that had popped up yesterday. So anyways, when it popped up, I was like, oh, I'll go in and listen to it. I'm just watching. And I swear to God, I have like 15 movies. I just go through the same ones over and over. As soon as I start watching something else, it's like, oh my God, it's just endlessly sticking in pointless sex, endlessly trying to, you know, woke culture my brain. Just all this stuff is just, so I just watch the same shit over and over. But, anyway, so when I went in to watch his thing, he was, you know, just doing the tarot card thing, and talking about the energy and what the cards were saying. And then he got all like, I don't remember what his trigger thing was, but you could tell that he was kind of being kind of defensive, like he gets probably attacked a lot in his comments. And that's one thing too. For a lot of these people, I feel kind of bad, because they, a lot of people started a channel before they really knew all of what was going on. And so they already were kind of had an audience that was kind of boxing them in. And when they go outside of it, their audience will like shut him down, shut it down. No, you stick in the parameters that we or find acceptable. So a lot of people kind of get a little bit trapped, I think. But this is all part of their process, you know. It's just part of the process. So and sometimes they'll say stuff, and you can tell they're kind of defensive as they're saying it, and they're not talking. I mean, they're talking to somebody because in their mind the conversation's already happening. But it's just funny, as you can tell what the other side of the conversation is just by what the people say. Well, I can. I don't know. Maybe not everybody can, because not everybody can see what I can see. But I can definitely see through the conversation. And you could tell he was being kind of defensive. And then he starts saying, and I'm not political. I don't care about politics. I don't care about any of that. But what I do care about is I'm really sick and tired of these reptilians in our government that are destroying our world. I was just like, what the oh my God. I literally started just cracking up. I was laughing so hard. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh. See, people are starting to realize, people are getting it. People are understanding, you know, and it's getting through to everybody. And that's where I also feel bad, you know, because he can go on and say that. And he right away was like, and I don't care if you call me crazy. Because, you know, his audience is not there yet. And he is there probably before some of them. Who knows? He could have had comments where people were already saying stuff to him and you know, because it's all a process. It's whenever your seeds sprout, you can't, I mean, you can put all the same seeds in all the same dirt and they're still not going to sprout all at the exact same time. It's nature. So anyways, I thought that was so cool. I felt like, oh my gosh, see, you go in and you listen to other people and you see like, oh, this is happening. You know, it can feel crazy. You can feel, for me, being so isolated and, you know, you just start feeling like, you know, maybe I'm just a crazy person. Maybe in this reality, I'm definitely a crazy person. Like, I'm not from this world. I can't, this is not my world. This song that, I'm sure I've talked about it before, but this song became like my anthem over last year. I was just belting it out. I love this song. Sammy Davis Jr., I Gotta Be Me. Oh my gosh, turn that song on, and it is so free, and plus you just sing it so like, it's really good. But that's how I feel, like, you know, I gotta be free and I gotta be me and I gotta just, you know, be right by me. I can't be right for somebody else. If it's not right for me, it's not right for, how can it be true? How can I how can I be a person of integrity? Just like I said, you know, that they want me to put these on so that I show compliance, when really I think it's a little bit more important that your mom has integrity than to be compliant. I've never proven myself at any point in my life that I've been compliant on anything. You know, I'll go to my own beat, whatever that phrase is. I'll walk to the beat of my own drummer or whatever it is. I don't know. But yeah, I don't need to be in somebody else's step, and I don't need to be in step with somebody. I just need somebody to, I just came into my head. I just need somebody to keep up with me. But I don't mean it like that, like, you know, kind of a snotty way. I just mean like, you know, just somebody who can accept you for just you being you. Because that's what we're headed to, is a world where we accept each other. A world where we can live and be free to be ourselves and go through our experiences and learn without judgment. Where we can, you know, love and not manipulate and gaslight to have someone be around us. And, you know, there's been so much sickness in our world. And it is by no coincidence that this is all, this transference, this transition, this whole transfer it's no shock that it is all being due to physical illness, disease and stuff, because that is what has been the problem in our world for so long, in our reality, in this societal realm that is created here. So anyways, I just wanted to say that stuff today about whatever those things are. I said, and to me now, I don't. The 4 o'clock in the morning is just like my regular time to get up. And then she gets up and snores all night long. She'll walk around here crying and whining, coming in my room, looking at me, having like a big fit. If I'm ever asleep, like right now, she's sitting there just snoozing her head off. And I'm gonna be like, well, hell yeah. I'm gonna turn on some meditation music. I'm gonna lay down and I'm just gonna relax. 5 minutes. It's like she senses it. And she's wide awake and she's like, oh, she's resting. I swear to God, I really think there is some sort of like, I'm not going to say demons and devils and stuff like that. There's something, some interfering energy. No, I don't know what still is going on in the hall, which when I said yesterday how stuff keeps disappearing, like I had 2 pairs of glasses, just constant, this stuff keeps disappearing. And so yesterday, my sweater showed back up on the back of the door that I had looked a billion times. And somehow I was getting up and down out of this chair all day long, but somehow, suddenly my glasses were sitting on it in the middle of the chair. So I don't know. I just don't know. But I just know that, you know, everything is supernatural. Everything is what we believe it is. So that is why we've got our consciousness so confined to this reality that is like we're getting pulled out of this reality that we think is so structured and real, and getting pulled back and seeing that it is not, that it's very created. But as we're getting pulled back, we're seeing like everything around us is, there's a lot of stuff. Like seriously, there's constantly, I don't know, beings or whatever it is always hanging around here, especially in my hallway, which I don't know why the hallway, unless it is like some sort of pathway. Because really when those little things were flying, there was like tons of them, and they were flying and flying, and they all kept going straight through there. They weren't going to other places. They were just leaving. It was like they were going through my house. It wasn't like they were in my house. It was like they were just passing through, and all of these different things that I keep seeing in the hallway, I think that it's the same thing. They're just passing through. And that's why I said a long time ago, you know, it is your own fear and stuff that creates, like if I sat here going, oh my God, I'm so scared. They're out to get me. They're going to hurt me. And, you know, whatever, all the stuff that people do. Then you start bringing that energy and fear and stuff. And last night, oh my God, it was so noisy here. It was really getting to be creepy, especially after I'd said that about the werewolves out there. But there would be like banging on the side of the house. And I kept thinking, okay, shit, because it's still, last year, I must have been, because I know I was talking about this before, where it sounds like there's like little elves or something running around on top of my house, because it's so noisy up there. And so I just have to keep going, okay, it's just the snow. It's just the snow. Snow's melting. It's just moving. But it's very noisy. It really sounds like somebody's running around on my roof. And so then last night, there was so much noises. There was crashes in the kitchen, crashes in the hall, crashes in the bedroom, crashes over there. You know, the one day I had everything was under the house. Like it seemed like it was scratching to get up and pounding or something. And then last night, it was just like all these different things crashing all around. Being like, oh my God, what the hell is going on? And then outside, it started being on the sides of the house, and then up on the windows, clicking on the windows. And I don't open the window. And even if you look out, it's just dark. And even if you look out, I mean, some of the stuff is supernatural. If it doesn't want to be seen, it's not going to be seen. And so it was just one noise after another, and then the scratching on the house. But it gave me that idea of like, you know, I wouldn't go out there. If something's going to be pounded, it would have to be really, really something significant that would take me out there in the dark to look, because there could be anything out there, and they know to friggin' tap on, get your attention. If you go in and you listen to some of those scary stories, Mr. Ballin and stuff, and before he started doing, lots of his stories now are just really like, oh, like you go in and that's what I said. You go in and listen to stories and you'll understand about miracles, and when it's your time to go, you're going. Some of the stuff on his, but he used to tell a lot more creepier kind of ghost campfire stories when I very first started watching him. And he, in a lot of his stories out in the woods, the things that are outside, they'll come up and start tapping on the glass, knocking on the side of the house to get your attention, to get you to come out. Don't go out. Remember, you gotta, you just gotta realize there's really is things out there. I don't know that any of them could hurt you. I mean, some of them can, obviously. I mean, skinwalkers and werewolves. There's all sorts of shit out there. I mean, there's not every alien or multi-dimensional being is of a kind spirit in this realm where we're at, you know. This is that lower kind of dimension. That's why you have to raise your vibration so you can move into the higher, because this is where a lot of experience gets to occur in this kind of realm. So a lot of different things are playing out all the time. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to finishing up my crocheting. I'm so excited because I feel like I'm almost getting done, which is good because I'm kind of really getting sick of it. I feel so ready to move on to everything. I feel so ready to just start something new, you know. It's time for us to, you know, start something new and begin moving forward. And I just feel so excited. Somebody on their tarot thing I've watched that guy's things a lot of time. He's very politically correct. He doesn't want to you know, offend people, and that was hilarious, because you can tell he was serious. And there's a lot of stuff, I think that there's a lot of people, probably a lot of readers and stuff out there, who are being told by a lot of different people certain things, but they can't go out and just talk about it because they're going to run off their audience, which becomes, for a lot of them, it is their livelihood. That's how they, you know, make their money. And they got to be really careful over what they say. But anyways, that was very funny. And I think that we're going to see a lot more of that. I think a lot more people are going to start really realizing what's going on and how much lies, even though it's a slow process for them all to get there. And there's a lot to wake up to. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.